Okay, how's it going, guys? Today we are at Alamo Cycleplex, and we are going to be picking up my new motorcycle. What? But Jacob, you just had the Ducati Street Fighter. I know, it's actually sitting right there. It is available at the San Antonio Alamo Cycleplex dealership. I went ahead and converted it back to stock, traded it in for a new toy. So if you guys are interested in a V2 that has been meticulously taken care of, there she sits. Onto the new machine though. This is my brand new 2023 Yamaha R1. Yep, we've stepped up to the full leader bike. We've gone full banana, full beans, and this is my new toy. So it has a CP4 engine. It's a cross plane 998cc inline 4. Quick shifter, all the electronics. The bike was released in 2015 of this generation, and really hasn't changed too much apart from some small aesthetic and software features. But yeah, here she is. So we're gonna go ahead and take her home. Oh man, Yamaha R1. What am I doing? All right, so immediately sitting on it, obviously clip-ons, foot pegs. It's a sports bike. It's not terrible though, actually. It's not super aggressive like my friend's Daytona 675. That bike is way more, I think, aggressive than this. Yeah, this engine, or this bike, has so many electronics in it. It has so many adjustable parameters. It has launch control, if you can believe it. You activate launch control and then basically just pull on the clutch, give it full throttle, and it revs itself and maxes at 9,000 RPM. And then let the clutch out and it takes care of the rest. So let's go ahead and bring her home on this San Antonio nice cool morning. Oh my god. Oh, holy crap. Oh, we're on an R1. Oh Jesus. Alright, so Jacob, why did you get rid of your Ducati? Why did you want to go back to Yamaha? Well, the Street Fighter, while it was an amazing bike, and really I had zero complaints about it, it really just came down to I want to start doing more stuff on track with my track days, and tracking a Ducati is expensive, really expensive, because if you ever crash it, Italian parts are not cheap and they're hard to get. And Ducatis are really kind of, at least a Street Fighter, there's not tons of aftermarket for them really on track. They're kind of how they are. And then the obvious, it was a naked street bike with handlebars, and I tried the clip-ons on the Street Fighter, but they just didn't work well. I don't know if it's because the swing arm on the Street Fighter is so much longer than a Panigale, or the seating position is different. I don't know, it just didn't feel right at all. Whereas this bike, honestly, its clip-ons feel way more relaxing than the Street Fighters did. So yeah, we're now on a R1. It's the logical progression, the next step in the chapter. So tons of aftermarket, much cheaper to track and maintain, much better ergonomics and riding position to get my upper body down into the corners. And then you cannot beat the sound of a CP4 inline engine. And in fact, we got a little bit of a straight. Let's go ahead and click her in a third. Let's give her a little bit of a pull. Jesus! What the hell? That is blisteringly fast. Holy cow. And this is all stock. And the American spec R1s are actually the heaviest restricted leader bikes on the market. If you look at the throttle opening, because it's electronic throttle body, it's like a car's drive-by-wire, same thing. It's all electronics and it's got electric throttle bodies. Anyways, in like second, third, fourth, and fifth gear, even if you're wide open throttle, it goes to 100% throttle around 7 to 11,000 RPM, and then it goes back to 80%. It pulls out power. So, but even with that mode and system at being used, Dude, this is a different machine than the Ducati was. Holy cow. Oh, I cannot wait to put an exhaust on this bike and really hear that sweet, sweet Crossplane 4 Yamaha sound. It arguably is the best sounding motorcycle out there. You know, I think it's a close argument between the Italian V4 bikes, the Kawasaki H2, just because of the supercharger, or the Yamaha CP4. I think you could ask anybody and the best sounding bike is going to be one of those. So I am super pumped. I already have a bunch of parts on the way for this bike, so we are immediately starting a build series on it, while my personal LS engine build series is kind of on hold while we're waiting for some valve train components for it to be finished up or resume the build. So in the meantime, we'll be able to fill that content gap or void with R1 series stuff. Yay! But sitting here in traffic, because yes, you are leaned over so much, but going highway speeds, the wind that's coming against me and is pushing on my body really kind of neutralizes all of my upper body weight being pushed onto my forearms here on the clip-ons. So, you know, at the moment I'm very, you know, just kind of holding the handlebars, not really supporting myself up on them, if that makes any sense. What's immediately really interesting and appealing about this bike is just how smooth the engine and the power delivery is. The Ducati at lower RPM, like right now, I'm in 6th gear at 4,000 or 5,000 RPM, and I can just go full throttle right here, and it's smooth. Not a single vibration, it just starts to pull. Whereas the Ducati, the whole bike, it sounded like it was just shaking apart, and it didn't actually clean up until around 8,000 RPM. The Ducati also had a massive torque curve. Not really massive, but peaky. It would be really relaxed and easygoing, and then all of a sudden, boom, all the torque hit you right around 8 grand. This motor just builds up to its torque curve and doesn't feel like an on and off switch, kind of like an R6 might. Yeah, let's build a little bit of a gap here and get another decent little pull in. That is too good. Let's go down to 2nd gear. And 3, 2, 1, lift off. Oh, Jesus! Holy cow! Dude, even 2nd gear at 100 miles an hour, I can feel the front wheel just floating. It is just floating on the ground. Oh my gosh. Dude, my heart is racing. How is this legal? Oh my god. If you don't have a sense of speed, you cannot get on this bike and just rip it. It is not because of how fast it is, like, oh, I'm gonna fly off the back of it or it's gonna pull out from under me. It's the closing speed. You don't realize how fast you are going and how fast you're closing in on the cars in front of you. This will do 160 plus like you saw effortlessly and immediately, and if you aren't aware of how far in front that car is, you're going to be in their back window before you know it. That is ridiculous. I mean, even here in 6th gear, going 7,000 RPM, just grab it. Dude, that is insane. And it's kind of a sensory head because the exhaust is so quiet. It's weird. It almost has like the Tesla feeling where, yeah, it's freaking fast, right? But there's no sound and it just doesn't make sense. Your brain can't compute what is happening. That is awesome. Oh, I can't wait to have fun with this on track. It automatically just feels so much more telepathic than the naked bike did with the handlebars. I mean, obviously it's got clip-ons, it should be, but actually riding one for the first time, oh man, what a machine. Good job, Yamaha. This is wicked. So yeah, I've already got a bunch of aesthetic parts on the way, you know, different mirrors, a tail tidy for the back, some tank grips, some, you know, just the normal aesthetic stuff. And this weekend we are going to MSR Houston with RideSmart to do another track day. So that'll be my first time on track with the bike. I'm currently in the intermediate group. I am contemplating stepping back down to novice just to get used to the bike. We'll see, we'll play it by ear. Maybe I can get some seat time on it before this weekend and then just go straight into intermediate. Play that one by ear. But yeah, dude, I am excited. Super pumped to do some track days with this machine. I really think this could become, you know, kind of my dedicated track bike, and then maybe in the future get another Street Fighter for the street, maybe the V4. Because I'm assuming that I will get tired of the clip-ons eventually. But for the track stuff, this is hard to beat. Quick shifter obviously works really well. What's also really cool is on the side of the dash right here on the right side, if you can see that, it has a, I guess you'd call that pitch and yaw, I'm not too sure. But it's got little blue line sensors, so if I just, you know, give it a good brake right here and then accelerate, you can kind of see the shock travel or the lean angle the bike has. And then it's also got a brake pressure gauge. That's pretty cool. All right, let's see if we have another clear exit ramp. Yep, here we go. Oh yeah, there it is, little wheelie, no problem. Holy cow. Oh man, I know it will eventually get old and I will eventually get used to it, but I don't know how. That is ridiculous. Oh man, with an exhaust, it's gonna be so much fun just to get that sound track going. So yeah, we're in full street squid mode right now, just doing pulls on a leader bike, but how can we not? Oh man, it is so smooth. I think that's my biggest takeaway. This bike is nothing to be scared of. I mean, obviously you should be respectful of it, but I don't think you should be scared of it. If your buddy has one and you want to jump on and take it for a rip, respect the speed and power, but it's not scary. It's not hard to ride at all. It's super easy. That's kind of what's crazy about these modern day leader bikes. All the electronics make the engine so smooth. It really has a nice, gentle power delivery. First gear, will it hook? Absolutely not, but let's give it a shot. Go ahead and get down on the tire. Oh yeah, no, track. Oh, there's a wheelie. Oh my god. Yeah, there's so many electronics going on in first gear. I can just feel the bike is just holding itself completely back, and then as soon as you click second, it picks up the tire. Oh man. What a machine. Alright, I am pulling into work. Let's get this week started off right. This thing is a monster. I am so glad to have one. Oh man, we're gonna have fun with this bike. Go ahead. Oh wow. Oh man, it just looks so good. The reflection right there, the headlights are just ridiculous. Just tuck it in. It's supposed to rain later today, so get it out of the weather. Yeah, just look at those headlights. The bike just looks so aggressive. And it's stock too. It's got the big mirrors, it's got the big fender eliminator. Man, what a machine. Alright, thanks for watching. See you guys later.